Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Welcome back to the program, folks. Chris live in Central Pennsylvania for your daily dose, your daily injection, your immunization, your protection against fake news, misinformation, hyperbole, and just plain out cockprot. Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to YouTube's favorite shadow ban program. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure that people with bigger shadow bans than me, but why not? Let's claim the title. It's not like it's an official title. Team Fenter just gave 70 Rand. Thank you for the super chat. The clouds are gathering. Excuse me. Straight to the news. Team Ramaphosa met in secret to discuss developmental plans for South Africa. They have a plan to rescue South Africa, the country they've destroyed. They're going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes and restore glory to South Africa. What do you think, Bob? I don't think Bob's convinced. I don't think Bob's convinced. I'm just saying. No. Bob says no. Well, yeah, like they're really going to pull it off. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Okay, here we go. Ramaphosa and GNU leaders adopt a medium-term development plan during strategic retreat. A medium-term development plan? Guys, medium-term? The house is on fire. The house is on fire. But they're looking down the road. Well, they should have been looking down the road 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. That's when you develop 5 years prior, a medium-term plan. Anything less than 5 years is a house on fire. You're dealing with the now. Wow, it sounds like the Soviet Union, man. This year's 5-year plan will include 60,000 tons of rolled steel, 1 million tons of coal production, and 1 million dead kulaks. Sorry, that's not supposed to be in the report. Take the kulak part out. Ivan, take the kulak part out of the report. Okay, sorry. All right, let's do the ANCs. This year's 5-year medium-term plan will involve more theft, more misery, no rails, potholes, HIV, and oh yeah, America's evil. Yeah, look at this. And look at the co-opting. Chlabisi's in there. Johnny's in there. Brett Good. Why is Brett Good in there? He's not the leader of his party. And Corney Mulder's in there. They went to the cradle of humankind for this. And Rhino Girl gave some dinars saying, 50 dinars saying, making plans to build a fire station while the house is already on fire. Exactly. Yeah. This is like, okay, we will build landing gear for our plane once we're in the air. It's kind of like Nancy Pelosi. For the Affordable Care Act, just vote for the bill. Just vote for the bill. And then you can read it. Okay, just build the plane, then build the landing gear. What? Just build the bucky, and then you can put the brakes on after you take off. What? They're not potholes, they're portals. Sorry about that. Yes, President Ramaphosa and his GN leaders adopted a midterm development plan. Strategic priorities include addressing unemployment and crime, as well as promoting inclusive growth with a greater focus on food security and skills. Inclusive growth. You mean exclusive bigotry and racism directed against racial minorities. It's not inclusive growth. There's no growth. The only growth in the GNU is the waistline of its members. That's it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have it here now. We will now report on the growth in the GNU. I'm going to simulate that. We use artificial intelligence, so get ready. We're going to use AI, and we're going to simulate the growth in the GNU. Are you ready? Are you ready? I got to set the stage. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Here you go, folks. This is artificial intelligence generated. This is the growth in the government of national unity. Are you ready? It's in real time. Real time. Get ready. Here it comes. This is the growth in the GNU. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just now demonstrated the only growth that the GNU can achieve. The government of national unity. Thank you, Vanna Durant, 70 Rand, salty cracks for a sweet man. There you go. There you go, folks. There you go. That is the growth in the government of national unity. So for all South Africans, if that makes you healthier, wealthier, and wiser, then I encourage you to support that growth. I do. Like a tumor. That's the only growth in the GNU. Like a tumor on the ass of South Africans. Yep. That is the government of national unity. It is a shame. It is a shame. Any news on the shutdown? No, we're doing our best to impersonate the government of South Africa. Why would we change? The Democrats want this to be South Africa. Why would we change? Why would we change? You must accept they are failures and cannot run a country. Yeah, agreed. Stomach out, chest in. Exactly, Antifa. Exactly right. That is the growth. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just demonstrated to you with artificial intelligence the entire growth. By the way, the government of national unity has now been in power since June of 2024. That would be nearly a year and a half. Has the economy grown? No. Has unemployment declined? No. Has racial tension decreased? No, it's increased. Has anything else positive happened in South Africa? Oh, yes, the Springboks beat the Brave Blossoms on Saturday. Yay! But the Lady Proteas lost. Let's get back to the story. Presidency spokesperson Vincent Magwenya, caught over the weekend lying about the 44 Ferraias, said the retreat held at the Cradle of Humankind provided an opportunity for leaders to reflect on progress. What progress? Address pressing national and global challenges and strategize around the key promises outlined in the GNU Statement of Intent. Guided by the basic minimum program of priorities contained in the Statement of Intent, the GNU has adopted a medium-term development plan as a transformative vision and program for the next 5 years. What? Could you say that in English, please? Guided by the basic minimum program of priorities contained in the Statement of Intent, the GNU has adopted the medium-term development plan as a transformative vision and program for the 5 years of this administration. What? This administration doesn't even have 5 years. Ramaphosa's time expires shortly. He doesn't have 5 years. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I speak 6 languages. I have 3 advanced degrees. I have 5 academic degrees. I have certificates. I've lived on 4 continents. What the hell are they saying? What are they saying? Guided by the basic minimum program of priorities? What is the minimum program priorities? You don't give a shits? Let's see. We are the GNU. We don't give a shits about unemployment. We don't give a shits about inflation. We don't give a shits about HIV. We don't give a shits about gender-based violence. We don't give a shits about the people. All we care about is our bellies. Yes. Seriously, the minimum program priorities? What the hell? Minimum program priorities? What the hell is the minimum program priorities? How about a maximum program of priorities? How about the priorities? Why don't you tell us what the priorities are? Wow. Maybe they do later on. Let's go down the article. Sunday Times reported that Ramaphosa convened a secret retreat with the leaders of political parties in GNU to discuss the state. Well, Brett Herron is not the leader of the good party. Tani Pat is the leader of the good party. Or did I miss something? Following a report on Sunday, the government released videos and pictures of Ramaphosa and his buddies. Magwenya confirmed that Ramaphosa and his deputy, Paul Mashatile, taking a break from his $30 million mansion, was joined by DA's John Steenhuisen, yay, the Minister of Agriculture, in Vietnam, doing Lila Mola, instead of in D.C. trying to get rid of 30% tariffs. They're in Vietnam trying to get the Vietnamese to buy South African stone fruit. They don't need that. Yes. IFP's Velancosi Hlabisa, PA's Gate McKenzie, Freedom Front's Corne Mulder, UDM's Bantu Holomisa, Rise Mzanzi Songizo Zibe with his 30,000 voters. I know it's 57,000. Al Jamaz, Genif Hendricks, and the PAC's Mzwanele Nyonsa, and Goods Brett Herron. The leaders were unanimous that the GU is united and strong. Of course they were. They're all pigs at the trough, aren't they? Well, mostly. Not all, but mostly. Yeah, the meeting agreed that this forum of party leaders would meet regularly to provide strategic political direction to work. So they've been in power for a year and a half. A year and a half. And now they've decided to get together and provide strategic direction. Hey, here's an idea. How about you came up with strategic direction before you ever formed an alliance? What a nice idea. Isn't that a nice idea? You wait a year and a half after you've been in power, after thousands of people have been murdered, 30,000 people probably been murdered or more, 40, 30,000 in the past year and a half. You wait a year and a half, unemployment 50, 60%, whatever the hell it actually is in South Africa, the true level. You wait a year after the ANC destroys the diplomatic relation with the United States. Now you are going to provide strategic direction. This isn't leadership. This is catch-up. And no, not the stuff you put on burgers and fries. That's catsup, not ketchup. This is catch-up. This isn't strategic vision. This isn't leadership. This is reactive governance. Reactive governance. Oh, people are upset. Now we'll do something. Oh my goodness. Whew. The leaders recognize difficulties at times in the function of the GNU, most notably around the 2025 budget process. However, it has drawn important lessons from these experiences and will ensure more effective consultation developing fiscal priorities and frameworks. Really? Really? Spare me. That's enough of that. But what emerged from this? What emerged? Not a whole lot. The presidency has confirmed the secret of two-day retreat at the cradle of humankind. The DA, a member, initially opposed the budget, but was later passed. Yeah, of course, because they went along with it. They have also provided work and livelihood experiences to young people on an unprecedented scale through public employment programs. Sustains what? Unemployment is at record highs for youth. They have provided work opportunities. What work opportunities? Dude, please tell us about this. Please. Where is this at? This is insane. They have provided work and livelihood opportunities to young people on an unprecedented scale through public employment programs. What are these public employment programs? Who is employed? And by the way, training someone is not a job, you morons. It's not a job. Training is training. A job is something that contributes to the economy and increases gross domestic product. That is what a job is. That is a job. Not a work scheme that takes money out of the taxpayer's pocket to give to people to sit on the dole and do nothing. Sustained spending to support poor households. They're proud of welfare. Yes. Just like food stamps. Oh, we're so proud. 42 million people are on welfare. Oh, we're so happy. We've done a great job. Woo! Barry Obama increased it to 68 million. Woo! Yes, we're so happy. Give people free stuff. Yes. Teach them to suckle on the teat of the others. Teach them to be dependent. Drag down the entire economy. Destroy the work ethic. Destroy the economy by making us a socialist paradise. Maintain macroeconomic stability. Macroeconomic stability? You have junk bond status. You were just illegitimately removed from the Financial Action Task Force when you should have been. Yeah. I don't think you have macroeconomic stability. No. Achieved a primary budget surplus. You have a budget surplus? How do you have a budget surplus? You said you don't have money to pay more for SASA grants, but you have a surplus? And pursued a responsible fiscal path to reduce the country's debt burden. Really? Responsible fiscal path. You demanded debt relief. That's not a responsible fiscal path. South Africa demanded debt relief for countries. No, you must give us debt relief. You must give us debt relief. That's what you asked for. That's what you demanded. That's not fiscal responsibility. That's what we call a deadbeat. That's why we send people to collect your goods from the Thule House, because you're deadbeats. Wow. Wow. Rory, I don't know what you're talking about. Full screen? So you don't have to watch the show. All you do is read the chat? What kind of crap is that? Leaders said the efforts to remove South Africa from the Financial Action Task Force, alongside legislative reforms and the work of the Special Investigating, have strengthened the country's ability to prevent, investigate, and prosecute corruption and serious crime. Really? Really? Who's prosecuting these crimes? Who's the Justice Minister? Cabello? He's not running the mole anymore. Who's running the police? The gangsters. The gangsters appear to be running the police. My goodness. Well, Flystaff Air crew are looking for a strike. Low-cost carrier Flystaff Air, the only reliable South African carrier. Well, not entirely true. I guess Lyft is reliable, but they have a tiny network. And Airlink is also reliable, but they're incredibly expensive. Low-cost carrier Flystaff Air faces a potential strike by its cabin crew after wage talks with the South African Cabin Crew Association reached a deadlock this week. It follows Saka's previous rejection of the airline's latest offer. The union has requested an extension to review it and provide feedback from its members. The offer includes a 5.7% salary increase, a 7.5% annual bonus, experience pay based on progression, and additional monthly allowance. So they're offering them a 7.5% annual bonus, and they're rejecting it. greedy people. My goodness. Well, they're going to get locked out. They go on strike, they're going to be locked out. Cabin crew and fly staff have been unable to agree on increases in new wage agreement. They'll lock out members from Monday evening if an agreement is not reached. But this isn't like the pilot strike. Yep. The pilots will still fly, so it won't affect consumers. So their ability to hurt fly staff air is limited. No, it wasn't the crew a few months ago, Dirk. It was the pilots. The pilots were going on strike. Unions. Who needs them? Good news for motorists. Fuel prices under the state-controlled communist government of South Africa will be lowered. Yes, price controls. Flying in the face of consumerism and capitalism. Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources announced decreases for all grades of fuel in November. Of course, the price of petroleum has been dropping for months, and now, only now, did the communists catch up with that. They've been fleecing you out of money by fixing and rigging the prices for years, and every time the price goes down, it takes months before they lower the price. But when it goes up, boy, that change comes in fast, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah, so prices are going down. So unleaded 93 will be 20 Rand 97 cents. 20 Rand for what used to be 4 Rand just 10, 15 years ago. Wow. By the way, that's 5 times what the price was 15 years ago. And 4 times. And the price of oil is only twice what it was. Not even twice what it was 20 years ago. And in real terms, the price of oil is almost the same, just a little bit more expensive than it was 15 years ago. Yet the price of your fuel in South Africa has gone from less than 5 Rand per liter to 20 Rand per liter, 21 Rand. Now, get your head around that. Road accident fund, taxes, thieving, government. That's where it goes. Yep. Well, traffic inspectors acted on a tip about the bogus cops at Molefa's house. Chief Provincial Inspector George Rafatopoulos of the Gauteng Traffic Police, who flew a helicopter over KT the Cat, Molefa's house during an operation by a police killings task force team in December of 2024, says allegations of interference are untrue. I'm very disturbed about the comments. They are untrue, as I had no idea who Mr. Molefe was or where he lived. I was merely assisting teams I worked with in the past. My understanding was that there were bogus police at the premises, and that is the reason I volunteered to go. So, was he made an unwilling accomplice into police corruption, or is he telling the truth? He says, I had no idea whose house that was. Really? As a senior officer in SAPS, you weren't briefed about what the mission was, who they were going to go check? You just hopped in a helicopter and took off? What are you, Pete Hegseth? just go on a whim? You didn't get briefed? Public outrage, folks, over the disappearance of 24 million Rand from the sale of artwork to keep the Irma Stern Museum open. But it's going to be closed now. Irma Stern with her bizarre art that somehow is popular. Yep, what happened? The sudden closure of the Irma Stern Museum in Cape Town has sparked outrage among art lovers, heritage advocates, and members of the public, many of whom are questioning what has become of millions of Rand meant for the museum's upkeep and preservation of one of South Africa's most important art collections. After more than 56 years as a cultural landmark, the museum housed in the Firs the home and studio of celebrated artist Irma Stern, who lived there from 1927 until she died in 1966. They've closed their doors. University of Cape Town and the Irma Stern Trust confirmed they have ended their long-standing partnership to manage and operate the museum. They said the property would now be repurposed and that the Irma Stern Trust collection, which includes priceless oil paintings, ceramics, sculptures, and works on paper, will be moved to a secure archival facility. Now it's immediately prompted a wave of concern on social media. Wow. Petition has already ordered 5,000 signatures in just 2 days, doing much better than the petition against the 44 Ferraias. Yep. Raises serious concerns. So that just shows you nobody cares about South Africa's future. All they care about is this lady's art. 5,000 signatures in less than 2 days. Petition references Stern's will, which stipulated that after her death, her home and collection were to be administered by a committee of trustees. Trustees later entered an agreement with UCT on 11th of June, 1969, allowing the Firs to become the Irma Stern Museum, which officially opened in 1972. The agreement has ended, returning ownership of the Firs to the Irma Stern Trust for 1 Rand plus cost. But critics say the transition has been poorly explained, especially after the 2022 sale of 124 artworks from the Trust collection raised 24 million rand through auction house Strauss & Company, funds earmarked for conservation of the museum. An open letter petition calls for Trust to provide full transparency to answer these questions. Where did the 24 million in proceeds go after 2022 sale? How much was spent on administration dividends? And what assets and funds does the Trust currently hold? Yep. Call for accountability. Well, there is no accountability. This is South Africa. You want accountability? You're living in the wrong space. It's South Africa. There is no accountability, none whatsoever. Criminals do what they want. It's just a Million dialogue in full display. Thucydides wrote about this 2,000 years ago. Nearly 2,000 years ago. The strong will do what they want. The weak will suffer what they must. The criminal syndicates that run South Africa, the thieves that run South Africa, do what they want with impunity. And this is another case of it. Where's the money? 24 million. Where's the accountability? Where's the annual report? Is it available? Maybe it is. But the public doesn't seem to know about it. And 5,000 people signed the petition already. Catching up to the one that Ronaldo put up about the ferraias. But no one seems to want to sign that one because they're afraid of being targeted. Understandable. Anglo wants to buy Anglo's De Beers stake. Angola. I said Angola. Angola said it's offering to buy Anglo-Americans' majority stake in De Beers, facing off against potential suitors, including neighboring Botswana. State-owned Angola gem producer presented a concrete and well-defined proposal to Anglo and is now moving forward with subsequent actions. Let me just make this very clear, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make this very clear. Should De Beers completely exit its Debswana venture in Botswana, Botswana diamond mining will grind to a halt within 3 years. Complete halt. The only people mining there will be Lucara, the Canadian firm that's a penny stock. That's it. So Botswana's fiscal budget will fall off a cliff, and it will have to go to the World Bank to beg for money. If De Beers leaves the Debswana agreement completely and ends all their operations in Botswana, that country will face financial collapse within 3 to 5 years. You heard it here today, November 3rd, 2025. Just giving you a heads up now. 255,000 tourists apparently will visit Durban this season. Durban is preparing for a record-breaking cruise season that could pour nearly $1.9 billion into local economy and reaffirm the city's status as Africa's cruise capital. Why? Why would anyone cruise to Durban? In the summertime, it's brutally hot. The beaches are filthy, full of shite and refuse washed up from the rivers where people live along the riverbanks and put their filth into the river. And it washes right up on the beaches. Glass, trash, rubbish, wires, dead bodies before, not now. And why would you go to Durban? Walk along the promenade? Be accosted by people who have no business being there? No police anywhere in sight? Trying to read the signs that say this is where this is at, and it's all worn out because it hasn't been maintained in 30 years. Maybe you want to go to Shaka theme park, King Shaka theme park, where you can go down slides that are becoming increasingly unsafe and dilapidated. Go through the shops where all the major marquee brands have long since departed, except for a couple restaurants like Spur. Why in the world would you go to Durban on a cruise? Please explain that to me. Please explain it to me. MSC Opera and Rennie's Europa will lead the season's opening later this month, followed by the Queen Mary 2, Silver Dawn. And how in the world does Durban take the title of Africa's cruise destination? That would be Cape Town. Good Lord. What are these people smoking? What are they smoking? Arriving passengers can expect a colorful Durban welcome, complete with pop-up fashion shows, local cuisine, craft displays, and storytelling. Wow, things you can't get anywhere else. You can't take a cruise to the Seychelles and have pop-up fashion shows and colorful local artists. Yeah, Durban, Africa's crap destination. Oh my goodness. Well, Gate McKenzie, he's railing on about colonialism. There you go. Gate McKenzie says restitution of cultural artifacts will help heal the scars of colonialism. Really? Honestly? So will the descendants of the Bantu colonists, will they return whatever they've destroyed to the Pygmies, to the Khoi, to the San, the Basarwa? Will those peoples receive their patrimony back from the Bantu peoples that invaded and conquered their lands coming down the Rift Valley over 1,000 years ago? Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to see that? Is that going to happen? I mean, that'd be really cool. Of course, there's nothing to save. The only thing left is a rock art, and we are saving that. We're preserving that in Zimbabwe, in Namibia, in Botswana, in South Africa. Proof that these interlopers, these Bantu migrators, these colonists who arrived in Africa, in southern Africa, about 1,500 years ago, those people really should return what they stole, the heritage of the Khoi, the San, the Pygmy. Except there's nothing to return. Yes, but no, this isn't about this. Kate McKenzie, another one of the fat cats in the Government of National Unity, is talking about how this is about the colonizers, which means evil white people. Only white people evil. Not the black Africans who murder people every day all over the continent. Not the Pooh, not the Poochis, not the Coup plotters. Yeah, no. Not the ANC, which necklaced 20,000 people thereabouts, murdered 25,000 IFP political leaders in the 1980s and 1990s. Yeah, no, they're not pillagers now. On restitution of cultural heritage and human remains, McKenzie said the presidency focused on returning cultural artifacts and ancestral remains stolen or unethically acquired during colonial rule. We recognize with gratitude and respect the positive steps already taken by former colonial powers and institutions. Yeah, moving right along. Calls for stronger community property associations. See, this is what happens when land is stolen from people or they're forced into selling it under the expropriation with compensation. Now we have expropriation without compensation. And this is what happens. The land is given to groups that squabble and nothing happens to the land. It falls into disrepair. As South Africa continues to debate how to make land reform more productive, well, take the ANC out of the equation. Very simple. It's very simple. How do you make land reform more productive? You don't just give land away to people with bogus claims. You don't. Land acquired by the government should be sold at a nominal price to aspiring farmers or developers from groups that claim that they have a right to the land. Yep. Community Property Association's annual report shows 82% of the 1,700 of these bogus organizations fail to submit annual reports within the prescribed time. Yep. It's all just a scam. It's a scam to destroy South Africa. Community property associations. Utter nonsense. There's no such thing. They all fail. It's a disaster. 82% can't even submit annual report. 82%. That's 1,000 plus. It's about 1,400. Well, here is the misogynist in chief, the Muslim fanatic lunatic of Tanzania. President is inaugurated, winning 98% of the vote. Yeah, I believe that. Not. Tanzania's president-elect, the misogynist Samia Suluhu Hassan, was inaugurated amid an internet blackout following election protests. Internet blackout. Why do you have to black out the internet when your candidate's so popular that she won 98% of the vote? She won 98% of the vote. Why do you have to block the internet? My goodness. Why should a farmer have to give his land to his employees? The employees have a job to do. They're paid for it. If he wants to do that, that's his decision. But it will bite him in the ass, and it has many times. Well, Kenya, there's a landslide. At least 22 people have perished. Death toll from landslide in the western Rift Valley has risen to 22. At least 29 people are still missing, and 21 were receiving treatment after devastating floods. Government sent military planes and disaster response specialists to conduct a search and rescue operation. Sad news for Kenya. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have famously mentioned Nicki Minaj on this channel more than once. More than once I've mentioned Nicki Minaj. And I say I'm impressed by her rapping skills, and some of her music's pretty entertaining. She is a bit outlandish, to say the least, but the Trinidadian-born rapper is pretty entertaining. And now she's spoken out. And she's spoken out on something that Donald Trump said. And not against Trump, but in favor of what Trump said. And some Nigerians who have their heads up their rectum are commenting about it. Let's talk about this very quickly. Nicki Minaj. Sit this one out, Nigerians tell Nicki Minaj after she praises Donald Trump on Christian persecution. Rapper Nicki Minaj has found herself at the center of a heated international debate after she thanked President Trump for speaking out about what he described as persecution of Christians in Nigeria. Now, let me help you out with this. Jonisaya Maromo, the journalist, it is not what he described as persecution. The Christians have been persecuted, and I know what I'm talking about. What do you know about Nigeria, buddy? You're calling it what he described. It's a fact. Tens of thousands of Christians have been slaughtered in this conflict. You don't see Christian gangs going out and slaughtering Muslims. That's not happening. This is all part of very difficult. And then, so the response by some Nigerians is, what do you know what you're talking about? We have Christians married to Muslims. Yeah, that doesn't stop this carnage. So what? So what? In Abuja, you have Christians married to Muslims. That doesn't change the reality. Nigerians don't know what they're talking about in their own country. Her message of solidarity drew praise from conservative commentators in the United States. Many Nigerians accused her of oversimplifying a deeply complex crisis and told her to sit this one out. So she said, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. And so Nigerians told her, sit this one out, please. You have no idea about the intricacies of Nigerian national politics. In Nigeria, we have families where one parent is Christian, the other is Muslim, so they have national politics. Well, that's just an asinine juvenile response. That doesn't stop things. In Sarajevo, you had people who were Muslim and people who were Orthodox Christian, people who were Catholics married each other, and they still slaughtered each other. That is a juvenile, childish answer. Thank you, Jeanette. Now, appreciate the 14 Rand. That is a juvenile response from someone that doesn't know anything, a Nigerian. Another wrote, before you get ahead of yourself, do some research on who funds these terrorist groups all over the world. The answer is right where you are. No, it's not. No, the United States doesn't fund terrorist groups in Nigeria. It's stupid stuff. The toilet paper of record actually runs a story publishing these things. Feel free to visit Nigeria again and stop parroting every propaganda you read on the internet. The recent killings have nothing to do with a Christian genocide. Who said genocide? See again, you see, no one said genocide. They said genocide. The left said genocide. No. There have been tens of thousands of Christians murdered in Nigeria over the past 2 decades. And nary anyone's paid attention to it, other than me and a couple researchers. That's about it. Well, Nigeria's president wants to meet with Trump after Trump has threatened to use military direct action in Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is hoping to meet with President Trump after his social media threat to send the military to Nigeria. They've prompted concerns. Well, no kidding, prompted concerns. In an explosive post, Trump sent on social media on Saturday that he asked the Pentagon to map out possible plan of attack in Nigeria one day after warning that Christianity was facing an existential threat there. Nigeria, which is almost evenly divided between Muslim majority north and largely Christian south, is embroiled in numerous conflicts that experts say have killed both Christians and Muslims without distinction. Yeah, that's not entirely accurate. It isn't a question of without distinction. Villages inhabited entirely by Christians are targeted and people are slaughtered. They're just gunned down, executed in the street. So that is not entirely close. That's just nonsense. And Trump is not ruling out military action in Nigeria. He's not ruling out sending U.S. troops. He said he envisioned various potential actions to tackle what he said were record numbers of Christians being killed. Aboard Air Force One, he was asked by a reporter if he envisioned U.S. boots on the ground. Could be. I envision a lot of things. They're killing a record number of Christians in Nigeria. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen. Wow. Isn't it amazing that the Pope is not the defender of the faith? The Pope is not the defender of Christians. Pope Leo and the corrupt cabal that run the Vatican don't stand up for Christians around the world. They simply disparage Christians around the world and disparage the leaders who care about them. Donald Trump stands up for Christians. Wow, the defender of the faith. Give that man a flag. He instructed the Department of War prepare for possible action against Islamist terrorists. Wow. And here are newspaper headlines from the Sunday Punch in Nigeria. Stop the killings or face military action. A recent report by the International Society of Civil Liberties and the Rule of Law, a Nigeria-based non-government organization, revealed more than 7,000 Christians have been killed and 7,800 kidnapped in Nigeria in the first 7 months of the year. Have we forgot the Chibok girls? The Christians raped, sold into sex slavery, sold as slaves, and forced into Islamic conversion. Have we forgotten our Chibok girls? Where is Michelle Mybelle Obama? Where is she? See, it's just a bumper sticker for Democrats. They don't give a flying flip about people. Remember the Chibok girls? Remember Michelle Mybelle Obama? Oh, bring back our girls. Our girls. They're not your girls, you lard ass. They're not your girls. Bring back our girls. That died quickly because it was a bumper sticker. Remember Kony in 2012? Remember that bullshit campaign? Joseph Kony's still on the loose in the Central African Republic. 13 years later, wreaking havoc, raping, murdering, recruiting child soldiers. These people are just fraud. They're just frauds, total frauds. Remember that? Michelle Mybelle Obama, bring back our girls. Where is she at with the slaughter of Christians going on in Nigeria? Where is she at? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Because it doesn't make her money. Netflix makes her money as they steal $25 a month from their subscribers. That's right, steal. Crappy programming. It disappears every time you turn around. And President Trump is threatening those actions. He accused Nigeria of not doing enough to protect Christians from violence. He said he ordered Pentagon to prepare for action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. Wow. Now, I'm confused, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very confused by this. Hang on. Let's see if I can hear correctly. Yes, I heard that bell. Let me see. I'm just testing my hearing on each ear. Okay.
That was easy.
I'm very confused. You see, I've been told reliably by Democrats and by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and Ayanna Pressley and Little Jazzy Hands Crockett and Chucky Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, the New York Slimes, the Washington Compost, Chicago Sun-Tribune, Atlanta Constitution Journal, the LA Times, BBC, News 24. I've been told that Donald Trump is a racist, that he hates black people. Hey, somebody should tell Donald that the Nigerians are black. Oh, they're almost all black. Did you know that? So if somebody tells Donald Trump that the Nigerian Christians are black, what will happen then? What will happen? I mean, after all, he's a racist, right? I mean, that's what we've been told. Trump's a racist. So, I mean, it stands to reason that he'll pull out. I mean, why would he defend black people? I mean, he's such a racist. I mean, my goodness. He's destroying racial rights. I mean, that's Donald Trump. Why would he threaten to put soldiers in harm's way? I know. They're going to send all black U.S. Army units to Nigeria. They're going to send only black soldiers so the black soldiers get killed. That's what they're going to do. That's what they'll do, right? They're going to send only black soldiers so that only black soldiers get killed. You watch. You laugh. But some leftist black supremacists will take that line and they'll make a story about it. Just like they're testing COVID vaccines on black Africans. Oh, they're racist. Not a single African was part of a trial. Only dumb white people in America and UK. Well, Nigeria will have a golf course after Donald Trump bombs the snot out of the north. Thank you, Yaku. Thank you, Yaku Ruiz, for becoming a subscriber. But he's a racist. Why would he defend black people? My goodness. Yes. Well, Israel has arrested their ex-top lawyer. There she is. Major General Yifat Tomer Yerushalami, former top lawyer, has been arrested. She resigned as the advocate general of the IDF last week, saying she took full responsibility for the leak. On Sunday, the story took a darker turn when she was reported as missing, with police mounting an hours-long search for her on a beach north of Tel Aviv. She was found alive and well, but was taken into custody. The fallout from that video is increasing by the day. Broadcast in August 2024 on an Israeli news channel, the footage shows reserve soldiers at a base in southern Israel taking aside a detainee and surrounding him with riot shields to block visibility while he was allegedly beaten and stabbed in the rectum with a sharp object. Subsequently treated for severe injuries. 5 reservists were subsequently charged with aggravated abuse and causing serious bodily harm to the detainee. On Sunday, 4 reservists wore black balaclavas to hide their faces as they appeared at a news conference outside Supreme Court with their lawyers, who demanded dismissal of their case. On Monday, it emerged the detainee at the center of the case was released to Gaza in October as part of an exchange with Hamas. Last week, a criminal investigation was launched into leaking of the video. Wow. She was put on leave while the inquiry took place. Shortly after that, she resigned. Wow. Not good. Microsoft will invest $15 billion in the UAE, not in the United States, but in the United Arab Emirates. Microsoft will invest $15 billion in the UAE in 7 years to the end of 2029 and has the Trump administration's approval to export NVIDIA chips for its data centers. Why are they building it there? I guess for latency, so you can build it around the world. Maybe. Microsoft. An earthquake hits Afghanistan, 6.3 magnitude. There's the epicenter in northern Afghanistan, not too far from Mazar al-Sharif. At 1 o'clock in the morning. A strong 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck in Afghanistan on Monday. According to U.S. Geological Survey, the tremor happened at 12:59 a.m. Afghanistan time, 20 miles southeast of Mazar al-Sharif. Seismologists reviewed available data and revised the earthquake's magnitude, but for now it is 6.3. New Zealand forging a new alliance with 5 Nordic countries, imposing more sanctions on Russia. New Zealand and 5 Nordic countries have formed a new multilateral grouping called the Nordic 5 New Zealand in recognition of their common strategic assessments, values, and national development aspirations. Bilateral visits to all 5 Nordic countries, Iceland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland. New Zealand Foreign Minister Winston Peters attended the inaugural Nordic 5 New Zealand Foreign Ministers meeting. Like New Zealand, Nordic countries face the most challenging strategic environment in decades as they unite to support Ukraine in repelling Russia's illegal invasion. so now New Zealand, with its 4.9 million people, is going to get involved in the Ukraine conflict. Well, that sounds like a good plan. Not. 5 German climbers are killed in an avalanche in the Italian Alps. They were in 2 groups. Apparently, 2 people did survive the avalanche. An avalanche near Cima Vertana in northern Italy swept away 2 groups of climbers on Saturday evening. 5 German mountaineers were killed Saturday when an early season avalanche struck the Alps in northern Italy. Shame. Sad news. Sad news. Germany will agree on military service. They're coming back with a draft in 2026. Germany's defense minister is confident its fractious ruling coalition can agree on a new model of military service in time for it to come into effect next year. They've already agreed to Minister Boris Pistorius' proposal for new voluntary military service to help boost. Well, no, they're talking about recruiting. They're talking about the draft. Where's that at now? So now they're going to expand the size of the military without a draft? Make up your mind. They're all over the place. They want to increase the number of active soldiers from 180,000 to 260 by early 2030s. 260,000, that still is dwarfed. I mean, the old German military under West Germany had 485,000 troops, and East Germany had 400,000 troops. And they trimmed that down when the two merged, and now they have 180,000 troops. That's a joke. Chinese intimidation has stopped a UK university in Sheffield from publishing a human rights report. Sheffield's Hallam staff raised concerns about the impact on international student recruitment. Chinese officials carried out a campaign of intimidation against Hallam University to prevent research into alleged human rights violations. Internal emails seen by the Financial Times reveal the staff at Sheffield Hallam University raised concerns about publishing research into forced labor in Xinjiang after Chinese officials blocked access to the university's websites, limiting its ability to recruit students. Last year, Hallam decided not to publish the final paper by Laura Murphy, a professor of human rights and contemporary slavery, but has since approved her latest research. Wow. Beijing strongly denies reports it's gotten involved. So, Hallam University's office in China was also visited by 3 officers of the National Security Service who questioned a staff member for 2 hours. The tone was threatening with a clear message: stop the research. Emails from July 2024 reveals concerns that a block on access to university websites in China since August 2022 had undoubtedly had a negative impact on recruitment, which had already fallen significantly. My question is, why is Sheffield recruiting Chinese students? Why don't you recruit British students? How about Irish students? Maybe Dutch students? Maybe American students? Sheffield? Has Sheffield fallen to the Chinese communists? I mean, Leicester and Luton and East London and Manchester and Birmingham have fallen to the Islamists. Why not let Sheffield fall to the Chinese communist? Wow. Kyle Watkins, thank you for the 21 Rand super chat. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Shocking, to say the very least. Shocking. Pressure from the Chi-Coms, Hallam University. Wow, that is amazing, to say the least. Hang on a second here, take care of something very quickly. What's going on? Slow. All right, there we go, got it. Well, the U.S. government shutdown is about to become the longest in history. Yep, the longest in history. And the Democrats, once again, doing what they've done in the past. But they don't mention it's the Democrats doing this. They just say it's the longest in history. Nearing record. As Trump delays food benefits to millions. No. See, this is the Guardian's propaganda. Trump is not delaying food benefits. The law delays food benefits. And a out-of-control rogue judge is telling him to give money that he cannot legally spend. The Republicans have only 53 Senate seats, meaning they need at least 7 Democrats or independents to reopen the federal government. But in repeated votes since October 1st, only 3 Democrats have been willing to support funding legislation. Trump continues to exert an iron grip on the shutdown, which sees Democrats. What is the iron grip? What iron grip does Trump have on the shutdown? What is that? He doesn't control it. The president has no control over it. Congress, the Senate, that's the iron grip. The Democrats in the Senate have the iron grip. You see this propaganda? Trump can't change that. Trump doesn't sit in the Senate. Trump can't vote. He doesn't have magically 7 votes with his pen that can change things. Trump has tried to get the Senate to remove the filibuster and cloture so they can vote and win 53 to 47. Trump has asked them to do it, but they won't do it. 2 federal judges ruled on Friday that the Trump administration must use $5 billion in contingency funds to keep paying food assistance for 42 million people. But that violates the law. That violates the law. But this is the reality. They just want to tell lies. President Trump says U.S. rare earths emergency program will end China's dependency within 18 months. That I find hard to believe. And why didn't the Trump administration do this in the first term? Why didn't they have a focus on rare earths in the first time? I was talking about rare earths in the first time when he was president. Why didn't Biden do it? Because they have no vision when it comes to rare earths. It's a bit late. And that's me criticizing Trump and his administration. You're busy about, TikTok, but not about rare earths. President said China's ability to threaten America and its allies by dominating critical mineral sector will soon fade. On his interview with 60 Minutes, he said he and his administration's new rare earth plan would ensure the United States can meet all its industrial and defense needs in less than 2 years, citing new partnerships with Japan, Australia, and the United Kingdom. The problem is that the Chinese produce 95% or have control of 95% of rare earth elements around the world, and that is changing slowly, but it takes time. The U.S. closed its only rare earth mine in California a couple decades ago, and it reopened after what the Chinese did to Japan. That should have been a warning signal. I've been telling people about that for years. When China shut down rare earth element shipments to Japan over the East China Sea brouhaha, when the Chinese attacked Japanese ships and the Japanese defended their islands, a couple little rocks out there in the East China Sea, China shut off rare earth element shipments to Japan. It had a big impact on Toyota, which was making Priuses, and they needed those materials for the batteries. The Japanese innovated their way out of it. Within 9 months, they had worked alternatives that met the need, and they no longer needed those strategic minerals from China. So it was self-defeating. But that should have been a warning shot. But the U.S. government ignored it under Obama. The U.S. government ignored it under Trump. The U.S. government ignored it under Biden, and now we're finally paying attention. It's a bit late. Teresa Mostart, thank you for the 10 rand 49. And I like the peach. Trump says ICE raids haven't gone far enough, and he won't say if he will strike Venezuela. Declined to say if the U.S. will strike Venezuela on that 60-minute interview. Boy, we're getting a lot of information out of that interview. And he defended the ICE raids. He said, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by judges. By the liberal judges were put in by Biden and Obama. Unfortunately for President Trump, also judges he put in place have also limited his ability to do things. Well, the CBS interview is drawing heavy criticism. Or is it? Well, it's heavily edited. Because of time, they trimmed out a lot of stuff, including Trump, chiding CBS News for the payment they made to him over what they did during the election. Trump said Paramount's sale to David and Larry Ellison was the greatest thing that's happened in a long time for free press. Annabella Fredericks, thank you for subscribing. This 73-minute interview was trimmed down to fit inside a 60-minute window. But the full interview is available on CBS if you want to go watch it, along with the transcript. So I don't know why there's a bit brouhaha. Food stamps payments could restart by Wednesday. Federal judge ruled the Trump administration must present a plan to start issuing full SNAP payments by November 3rd or partial payments by November 5th. Scott Bessent was asked by CNN's State of the Union on November 2nd about the recent federal court ruling in Rhode Island. When asked whether payments could resume, he said they could be. We'll see. 1.7 million. Over 1 million Californians are facing catastrophic health care costs, according to San Francisco. David Delfiner and Lisa Parsons received a shocking letter from a health insurance provider when they checked their mail last week. Their monthly health insurance costs will increase from $350 this month to $2,221 a month starting in 2026. Now, why is that? Because Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer scammed this country with the Unaffordable Care Act, putting a sunset clause in on 30 September 2025. One of the things holding back our economy has been the past 15 years of us who are earning our way in life paying for the health care of others. They were paying $350 per month. Now they're going to have to pay $1,900 a month more for their health care. That's the true cost of their health insurance. The other $1,900 has been carried by taxpayers for millions of Americans. Millions of Americans have been paying for other people's health care. Unbelievable. Excuse me. Sorry, folks, got something stuck there. It's insane. It's unbelievable, said the 59-year-old retiree living in South Lake Tahoe. He's living in Lake Tahoe? Wow. Do you know what a house costs in Lake Tahoe? I've looked. I can't afford it. The couple's not alone as open enrollment begins, and 1.7 million Californians are facing an average of 97% surge in premiums for next year's health insurance. Covered California, the state's healthcare exchange expects prices to rise 10% on average for all enrollees using the marketplace. But the increased costs are exponentially higher for people like Delphiner and Parsons thanks to the end of the Joe Biden-era tax credit. No, it's thanks to the end of the Unaffordable Care Act. This is not a very well-informed newspaper. That tax credit passed in 2021 offered health care subsidies for middle-class people. The Affordable Care Act, anyway, whatever. These people are idiots. Excuse me. Lower-income Americans will still get health care subsidies regardless of what Congress decides. The Affordable Care Act passed in 2010 and gave free health care for millions of the poorest Americans by expanding Medicaid to anyone making up to 138% of the federal poverty line. So if you make 38% more than the poverty line, we pay for your health care. The Affordable Care Act also provided subsidies for people, and this is where they're in trouble, making up to 400% above the poverty level, or up to $62,000 for a single, $128,000 for a family of four. So a family of four making $128,000 per year was getting subsidized health care. $128,000. No wonder this country is going bankrupt. $128,000 per year, people were getting subsidized health care. Subsidized health care. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 2.3 million rand. People with 2.3 million rand in income were getting health care subsidies from other people paying taxes. Wow. But the landmark law, commonly known as Obamacare, did not provide any direct support for people making above the 400% above the poverty. Well, excuse me. You make 4 times the poverty level and you need help? You make 4 times the poverty level and you need help? The lack of help for middle-class earners created subsidy. Lack of help? $128,000 a year, unless you live in Manhattan or downtown San Francisco, is a fortune. $128,000 in West Virginia, $128,000 a year in Oregon, $128,000 a year in Oklahoma for a family of 4 is not exactly starvation wages. The gross domestic product per capita, GDP per capita, is only $75,000 a year per person in America. These people are making nearly twice that. They're making 60% more. You're telling people making 60% more than per capita income need subsidies? They can't afford it? Give me a break. Give me a break. Wow. In 2021, Biden and his administration removed that cliff by removing a 400% limit on eligibility for the tax credit. The 2021 law also increased the subsidy amount by ensuring that no one would pay more than 8% of their income on health care premiums. I agree, no one should pay more than 8.5% of their income for health care. But the reason we're paying for that is because of the pre-existing conditions. Wow. Wow. No wonder Democrats give votes, because they're buying people's votes. Kimberly-Clark agrees to buy Kenvue, which is the maker of Tylenol. Of course, they make it all in China now, so screw them. The owner of Kleenex and Huggies will acquire the company that has fought unproven claims by the Trump administration that a common pain reliever is linked to autism. That's funny. They were all going after Tylenol till Trump went after him. Now they're defending Tylenol. Shares of Kenvue have plummeted this year as health officials have claimed without evidence that acetaminophen is linked to autism. Well, I agree. There's no evidence of it. So, under the terms of cash and stock deal, Kenvue, Kimberly-Clark shareholders would roughly own 54% of the new company. Combined group would generate about $32 billion in revenue and $7 billion operating profit. They claim to be $2 billion in subsidies from synergies. Well, we've heard about synergies before. They rarely work. We'll see. OpenAI and Amazon reach a $38 billion cloud deal. These companies' first computing partnership is part of Amazon's efforts to grow its cloud business. OpenAI has agreed to pay Amazon $38 billion for computing power in a multi-year deal that marks the first partnership between the startup and the cloud company. The deal unveiled on Monday could help satisfy OpenAI's fast-growing computing needs. Well, $38 billion deal, that's a big deal. Even more than Microsoft's going to spend in the UAE. U.S. nuclear weapons testing won't involve any explosions, the Energy Secretary said. Wow. Okay, I thought we were going to blow bombs up. Energy Secretary Chris Wyatt said on Sunday no nuclear explosions will take place during the nuclear weapons testing ordered by President Trump. He told Fox News the tests are non-nuclear explosions that are intended to access all the other parts of a nuclear weapon to make sure they deliver the appropriate geometry and can set up a nuclear explosion. I think the tests we're talking about right now are systems tests. They're not nuclear explosions. These are what we call non-critical explosions. Okay, exciting stuff. No nuclear explosions. That's good to hear. Well, the Los Angeles Times claims a U.S. citizen was shot in the shoulder by ICE, unjustified. U.S. citizen shot from behind as he warned ICE agents about children gathering at a bus stop. U.S. citizen Carlos Jimenez was shot by ICE in Ontario, California after warning officers about children gathering in a nearby school bus stop. His lawyers claim he was shot from behind while trying to leave. Federal officials say he reversed his car towards the officers in a threatening manner. Yeah, well, that is getting a lot of attention. What the truth is, we don't know. We'll have to look at body camera footage. He was telling them, excuse me, can you guys please, please wrap up this up? There was a shot from the side, back passenger window to the car. No video of the incident has been publicly surfaced. Federal authorities have painted a very different picture than what Mr. Jimenez claims. He said Jimenez pulled up to 3 immigration officers, 2 from Border Patrol, another from ICE, and engaged in a verbal altercation. As ICE agent identified as EO approached Jimenez in his Lexus and told him to leave. Then the agent holstered his firearm and pulled out his pepper spray. The Lexus then stopped, turned its wheels, and rapidly accelerated in reverse back toward a border agent named in the complaint as Officer NJ. Immigration agents have been increasingly involved in aggressive confrontations, according to the Los Angeles Times. Yeah, well, if these criminals weren't in America, this wouldn't be happening. Well, Sydney Sweeney and Sophie Cunningham, in a rather interesting photograph, at an event. And yes, so a cheeky, self-deprecating photograph of Sydney Sweeney and Sophie Cunningham. They're at a car event, and here it is. And then Sophie Cunningham says, one of us forgot our tits at home. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's funny. That's funny. Sophie Cunningham has really been making it big on social media this year. So yeah, one of us forgot our tits. I think that would be Sophie. Oh my goodness. The 2 bleachy blondes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah. Sophie Cunningham. I'm not following her. I thought I was following her. All right. Am I in the right account? Now I'm following her. She's got 281,000 followers. I thought she had more. Huh. People are loving it. It's a NASCAR Cup Series championship race. That's what they were at. Oh my goodness. You got to love it. You got to love it. Anyway, Sophie Cunningham. Funny stuff. Funny stuff, folks. All right. Be sure to hit the like button if you don't mind. I appreciate it. And that concludes today's news for today, the 3rd of November. Got it in under 1 hour. Appreciate you all being here. Programming note, I will do a Night Owls tonight, but it will be at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which won't change for South Africa. It's still 5 a.m. for South Africans, but it'll only probably go for an hour because I need to get to bed and get up at 5:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to go do the judge stuff. All right? So there you have it, folks. Yeah, get the body cams. Unfortunately, falling acorns can sometimes... Yep. There you go. If only Tylenol could help them. Yeah, exactly. Kathy says, missed your night owl. Sorry that you're going through so much. I'm sure people here support you. Oh, I'm not going through so much. What are you talking about, Kathy? I think Mad Max 14 Rand. What's he got there? Times Live. I was on Times Live. What is he finding? I think Mad Max scans the news while I'm here. More than 300 counselors in KZN are functionally illiterate. That's not a typo. 300 public representatives are signing off on budgets and development plans they can't even read. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna have to do a short on that. That's pretty good. What happened to the game yesterday? What game? What game? Are you talking about the Steelers game? The Colts suck, man. That was terrible. 6 turnovers and they still almost won the game. Daniel says, I know you don't watch Byron. No, it's not that I don't watch Byron. Byron and I have a segment on here. We just haven't done it in a while. It's called The Bribrews. And we haven't done it in a while. Byron hasn't been available. He's been busy gallivanting off in Gaza, and so we haven't been able to do it. Plus, and Anyway, plus people are spreading nonsense about Byron and I trying to start a dispute between us, which was utter nonsense. But no, it's not that I don't watch Byron. It's just that I don't have time to watch anybody right now. I haven't watched Ronaldo stuff in ages. I just don't have time. I'm busy. So it's not a question. Last where he talks about Richie is beyond ill-informed. He needs to start watching you. Oh, well, I'm not going to get involved in that, Daniel. I'm not going to get involved in it. If you missed my previous posts, when will you do coverage of the NFL game? I watched. I don't watch the NFL anymore, Ian Moon. Yesterday, I watched the Colts game. First time I watched, I think, an NFL game since Colin Kaepernick. I used to have 12 to 15 fantasy football teams every year, and I used to win 6 to 10 championships every year consistently. I think the lowest I ever won was like 6. Maybe one year I might have won 4. I did very well in fantasy football. Always played for fun, not for money. And I watched NFL. I watched any game I was into. I knew all the players, knew everything. Now I can't recognize it. It's become a black supremacy rap league too, and I find it off-putting. I like rap music, but I don't care for the gangster rap approach that the NFL takes, and everybody, and the slavish slobbering Chris Collinsworth. Oh, black athletes! Oh, black athletes! His privileged little white ass. I get tired of it. Chris Collinsworth became just too much to stomach. He made me want to vomit every time he opened his mouth. Al Michaels is still a pretty decent guy, but I mean, I just don't watch it anymore. I watch the Colts, and of course, they disappointed. They completely disappointed me. It was terrible. They look like the Colts that I expected them to be since Andrew Luck left the league. Very disappointing. Daniel Jones was atrocious, and the Colts had the Steelers on the ropes. They were incredible, and then poor blocking by the offensive line, and led to a strip sack and a turnover, and they approach the game very substandard. They're talking about Jonathan Taylor only getting 45 yards. He barely touched the ball. Gabriel, where have you been? Hiding in Switzerland. The end of the budget lockdown is not in sight. I told people don't expect it to happen now until middle of November, probably, maybe just before Thanksgiving. Bry. Oh, good to see you had a Bry. What'd you miss? All the news. You have to go back and watch it after the fact. Lots of people watch this after the fact, and that's good when they do that. Do you watch Left Turn Racing, NASCAR? I do not watch NASCAR. I get it now, why people like it. If you're on the ground, it's really cool. The vibrations, the sound, the vroom, vroom, but it's the same thing. Vroom, vroom, gets old after a while. Not very exciting. And people change positions like once every half hour. It's boring. Some people love it. I'm not criticizing it. I also Formula One at least has different routes and such. That's interesting. If I go to America, I know that I will do with myself in my life. Oh, you know what you do. I've grown to love the aquarium. Somewhere. Well, Nadine, the National Aquarium is in Baltimore. It's very nice. Which is harder, hitting sport, football, rugby? Football is much harder hitting than rugby. That's why I have so many concussions in football and spinal injuries, because of the spearing that people do with helmets. Yep. Yeah, USA 2025 is with me on the rap crap. Yeah, I like rap music, but the rapization and the blackification of the NFL is just, it's disturbing. It's not even, it's like the NBA. Why would I watch the NBA? If I want to watch a pickup game, I can go watch, it's just, the NBA is boring. Teresa Mostart 14. When Jordan played, sign up for the Truth Board. Yeah, well, it's hey, you guys feel free to sign up for the Truth Board, but it's too late for me. I don't get a free trip. Let me see what the Truth Report's at. We were 300 short on the 31st. Didn't make it. What the hell is this? We're 200 shy now. It's 200 shy now. Okay. I try watching, but I have to hunt through the Shadow Valley to find the other videos. Well, guys, what you have to do is make a bookmark. You can even put it on your desktop if it's on your phone. I mean, I'll show you how you do it on your phone, but if it's on your desktop, you can make a bookmark, save it, and go there. All you have to do is put at Colonel Chris Wyatt, and they have to find the channel. They have to show you the channel. So, I mean, it's very simple. If you're trying to find my channel and you can't find it, you can do this in the app as well. So let's just do this very quickly. I'll show you how to do it. So we go to PooTube. Okay, let me get to PooTube real quick. A little slow here. Okay, here we go. So there's PooTube. You go up here to search and type at Colonel Chris Wyatt. There it is right there. At Colonel Chris Wyatt. And see, I come right up the top. Now, sometimes I hide my content. So you can just click on the channel. It'll take you right there. There you go. So these are all videos I've done. Well, now look at this. What's this there? Colin Coward. What's that got to do? What has that got to do? I'm not mentioning there. There I am. Say, look. Those are all me. And that doesn't give you stuff in the order they appear. That just gives you stuff the way that YouTube wants you. So what you see, I'm live right now. What you do is you click on that and take you to the channel. And then what you need to do is you just go to videos, which is up here. Videos. Where's videos at? There you go, videos. Okay. There you go. And then there's all the videos right there. So, and it shows you. It shows you in sequence here. You can sort it by popular, oldest. This is by latest. The latest video is from 13 hours ago. There you go. So, there you go. So, in the past week, I've done 8 prepared videos. These are not live streams. If you want live, you click on the live tab. You want shorts, you click on the shorts tab. So, there you go. So, 7 days ago. So, I have 8, 9, 10 videos in the last week. There you go. Then you click on shorts. And there's the shorts. And the lives. There's the lives. Every one of them. Piece of cake, guys. Piece of cake. So I know you shouldn't have to do that. You should just be directed to it by your up next for you. But that's YouTube. They're just evil. We know they don't do that. So sorry. The Geyser one. Yeah, I'm not. What do I call that? I don't remember what I call that one. So you're talking about the music. Yeah, I don't know if I have a playlist for music. I think I have to make one. There's more video footage of me than there's Nicolas Cage. Possibly. I mean, just do the average. I've done an average of 2 hours minimum per day. Now, there's days I don't do video. There's days I do a lot more. Let's just say 2 hours per day. That's easily 700 hours of live video of me every year, minimum, plus all the rugby. That's just you know, throw the rugby in. It's a lot more. I've done over 400 rugby games, play-by-play and color commentary, an average of 2 hours. That's 800 more hours, plus the ones I just talked about. So, you know, it's each year, that's 700 hours times 6. That's 3,600. So probably 5,000 hours of me online at this point. 5,000 hours of me online. The only thing that that hate wanker can come up with is what I said about the people who fled and spread like cockroaches when I was at a stadium. That's all. And he called me a racist. I said people. I didn't say he's. That's all I can find after 5 years. And the editing my content, they do that and try to change the voice. Yeah, Diary of a CEO. Never heard of that guy. He is ugly as sin and boring as all get out. I don't know why that thick channel has so many viewers. Denny Dreyer says, thank you for keeping heads open and minds informed. Well, okay, you're welcome. My pleasure. Yeah, Kamala Harris, that was just bad. You can also go to my channel. Well, that one, I don't think, it's not published yet. I don't think I published it. So it won't help you with the Geyser one. Sorry, but if you go to DJ Silver Eagle, Topic is what it is. They make these for... They make these channels for all the music channels automatically. So DJ Silver Eagle, but I'm not really gaining any subscribers on that channel. It's a YouTube channel. I don't control it, but that's just it right here. So DJ Silver Eagle, topic. Okay. So this plays the music. Now this is ones they upload. I don't upload these. So you can see. There you go. View all. Here we go. And there's all the songs right around there. And these are because I went through my distributor. So in theory, if you watch it here, I should be making money. And Doug. Cares about Doug.
Sydney's jeans are harder than July. They make the pavement melt.
No, I'm okay, Chris. It's not a cold. I have some sort of mucus issue here that's been going on for months. I think it might have something to do with these. And since tomorrow is the end of my last day on these for a month, we'll see if it improves.
I swore off denim, swore it was dead, but here I am with jeans on my head and not just pants. They're a state of mind, blue like the ocean, tight and defined. I need those jeans, those magical jeans. Sydney style is the stuff of dreams. Bring on the mind.
So that's Sydney's jeans. That's the one that's posted on there. Oh, Charlie Stands On. That was pretty good. Damn it.
A voice like thunder broke the sky. He spoke for truth. He dared to try.
With courage burning, bright as flame, Charlie Kirk was more than just a name.
They thought they'd silence what he gave, but free speech doesn't find a grave. Charlie stands on in the hearts of the brave, in the fight for freedom, the road he paved. Though the coward struck, his light won't fade. Charlie stands on in the love he made. Faith in his eyes, a fire inside, for family, for values, he never lied.
The world grows quiet, but echoes stay. In every soul, he led the way.
Gone from sight but never far, he's the whisper in the stars, a warrior fallen yet standing tall, in every voice that answers the call. Charlie stands on in the hearts of the brave, in the fight for freedom, the road he paved. Though the coward struck, his light won't fade. Charlie stands on in the love he made. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on in the love he made.
That video only has 146 views and just 10 likes. Wow. A lot of things they did get 100,000. Actually, I'm quite confident, but Google says new subscribers were acting like bots and adjusting the subs to acceptable human level. Online people are making tasteless comments about Erica Kirk and J.D. Vance. Yeah, it is disgusting. I saw that. Our world is so corrupt and damaged. So many people hurting, trying to survive day by day. So much pain in the world. I pray for our world. Well, thank you, Vera. It's needed. Mad Max, what do you think of Gemini's lyrics? Does it work better for you? It does now. The lyrics that Suno comes up with based on what I input are dynamite. They're amazing. I mean, look at, bullfrogs aren't steam crabs aren't bullfrogs. That one's amazing. Save South Africa. These are amazing songs. But the problem is that they did something to their algorithm, and now the songs are too damn short. I mean, you only get so many characters. I put the characters in, it generates a song, and it's half a song. It's too short. It's too short. You need a 3.5 minute, 4 minute song. That's what song length is. I mean, that's what we've been conditioned as human beings to accept. I mean, if I want to make it a minute or minute and a half song, that's great for an opening for a show or for a video. But for a song, people aren't going to catch on unless the damn thing is, 3 or 4 minutes. And Gemini, for the lyrics that I put in, I can be much more expansive and effusive in lyrics. That does a really good job. I like that song. We did the other song about Trump. The other song about Trump, which was really good. Let me see that. What was that one called? I think it's Verse. There it is. Here, the sunlight bouncing off. See, this is the one I did for Trump. This is awesome. The lyrics I wrote in Gemini. I put it all in. They generate it, improve my lyrics, and the music I put it into Suno. And this is what we got. Get that Taylor Swifty enough. Lubeck.
This is all for real. He steps on deck, a flash of red, white, and blue. The sound goes up, it's shaking me and you. 1,000 hands are clapping, reaching for the sky. The triumphant leader with that look in his eye. He's been across the world, turning night to day. They said it can't be done.
What's the jet taking off? Oh yeah. Look at him now. Trump, victory to victory.
It's a new day, you can feel the optimism rise. He's the negotiator, he's the one they call. Standing strong and standing tall. He's bringing all the power back home. Back home. Hear the people cheer. The peacemaker is finally here, making waves from sea to sea for the future of you and me. From Tokyo to the shorelines, he's signing deals and reading the signs. They said no way, but he's showing them how. Look at him now. Look at him now.
Yeah, this is my first collaboration. Using Gemini for the lyrics and Suno for the music.
Look at him now.
Came out all right. Anyway, that's what I want to show you real quick. Anyway, so I haven't seen that meme. Where's my friend Bob? Bob already made an appearance there, Tom. He came out earlier. We were talking about the ANC and the GNU's offsite at the Cradle of Humankind. Taking a song for Matthew Dixon. Oh, come on. Silent Bob. Hey, Colonel. The fam and I went to the first refugee interview and already have a date for medical before the second interview. Quite odd, but wanted to share. Well, that's not odd. That must be promising. Or either that or it's just a scheduling thing. They're just trying to schedule. They're trying to get a lot of people taken care of. Yeah, I'm sure. I've heard all the nonsense about them. I don't really care. Charlie Kirk accomplished so much in his short life. He did. PIC can find the article on Business Tech. That's going to flunk some important tests. Okay, Alan. Matthew lost his spot. Yeah, well, Matthew wasn't here enough. He disappeared. He didn't come around enough. We really don't always know exactly what you're going to throw to help us in South Africa. Thanks for always having patience with us and helping us. You're welcome, Tony Pretorius. I don't understand what you mean, throw to help South Africa. What do you mean by that, Tony? I'm sure you meant well by it, but I don't understand it. Typing error, okay. Our world is so corrupt. Yeah, the world is corrupt, folk. Yeah, those are like cartoons. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Well, I'm sure the queue to fly the U.S. is well over 1,000. I mean, they're going to break the bank at Delta and United here. Delta and United are probably like, yeah, we'll bring extra planes. We'll bring extra planes. I bet you. You know, they're probably looking forward to this. I mean, that's not a lot. I mean, 1,000 people is a couple flights, 3 flights. Anyway, but yeah, no, I'm sure the backlog is, people are stacking up like cordwood, no doubt. No doubt, folks, that there is a huge backlog now. Durko slashes out. What's this? Durko allows out AfriForum for backing U.S. policy of Afrikaners. What's this? Is this a news story? 5 hours ago. They used the same photograph, so it's hard to track. Has hit back at AfriForum welcoming the United States government's new refugee policy. In a formal presidential term. Durko spokesman Crispin Piri said the government rejected both Washington's approach and AfriForum's endorsement of it. We support the rule of law only if South African courts rule in our favor. If we don't, we cry. That's what he says. AfriForum defended support. Okay, that's not much of a story. That's not much of a story, but thank you for that. Now, I'm not going to go after Durko on that one. What's going on here? Huh. 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 Or this whole thing on the op-ed is not going away, folks. There's more stuff happening behind the scenes than you guys realize. Than any of us realize. It's crazy. Hang on a second here. There we go. Got it. Okay, got it. All right, cool. You also got our mail now. Just waiting. You got your mail. Okay, medical tomorrow. See, look at all these people, man. Yeah, South Africa's losing air traffic controllers. I'm aware of that. They're being poached elsewhere. Plus, they're being pushed out of work, too. Just Ainer. What's going on? The Met is reassessing approximately 9,000 cases of child sexual abuse over a 15-year period. The Metropolitan in London? Are you talking about the cops there? Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Thank you for the 70 Rand, Silent Bob, for the 70 Rand super chat. Canva, using it for my new business AI feature. I've tried Canva. It's not user friendly. I haven't figured it out. I tried it. It's not doing it for me. I'll try it again. Yeah, but it just doesn't. It's not intuitive. Yeah. By the way, I downloaded a new program for gamers. Not a new one, an old one, but I downloaded Crusader Kings 3. Yeah. Yeah, Crusader Kings 3. Where the heck's... Okay, yeah. Let's see how that goes. I got it on sale for $15, so... Stiana sent me a song. Okay, thank you for that. A lot of people progressing along FT Pass. Good to see, encouraging. Yeah, no, lots of people are, Andrew. Lots of people are. And a lot of, apparently... yeah, so let me mention this now. We still got 300 people here watching this program. I'll make sure it's clear now. Because those who assume things, I see that, yeah, that's getting old. I see that the Amerikaners are now publishing a YouTube channel in which they're going to interview refugees who come to America. Now, that is their prerogative. That's their privilege. They can do what they want to do. But I just want to make it clear, I have nothing to do with that. They didn't consult me. They didn't talk to me. They didn't reach out to me. And they have an inside edge on that because they have all the information from all the people. So they know how to contact them. I don't. The only way I know how to contact people is they reach out to me. And so they're going to be doing the interviews. So I guess you won't be seeing many interviews on here in the future because they've got the hammerlock on it. They're now going to be the authority on refugee interviews, apparently. I know nothing about that. I've heard they've never reached out to me. So for those who think that I have some kind of inside edge with the Amerikaners, yeah. Yep. Yep. So anyway, I have nothing, no inside edge. Anyway, so... Yep. Yeah. But I have, it's interesting because I would thought they would at least, let me know they're going to do that. I mean, I work very hard to get interviews with people and so people know about it. And it would have been nice of them to tell me that. I mean, when people didn't trust them, when people questioned who they were and what they were all about, and when people attacked Sambusa, I investigated. I gave them a fair opportunity. I talked to them, and I've never disparaged them. But anyway, so yeah, whatever. People do what they want to do. It's an open marketplace. People can come up with it. It's not like I've got a genius lock on anything here. So anybody wants to interview refugees and they don't want to pay it back to me because I'm the one that told them what's going on. Cool. Well, Dogzilla, then why don't you just go there right now? Just go sit there and wait there now. Why are you here? No one asked you to be here. You're welcome to go there. If that's what you're looking forward to, go. Yeah, that's a foot sec. That's what the word is. It's called foot sec. Foot sec. Hit the road, buddy. Go. Again, Alan, I don't care. I'm making the point because I've got notes asking me about, am I collaborating with Amerikaners? No, I'm not. I have nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with them. I just covered them. That's all. And this is proof of it. That's the reason for mentioning it. They can do what they want to do. That's their prerogative. Yep. That's their prerogative. They can do what they want to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, but nobody's getting to America right now because of the budget. So, again, remember when I was called out by a viewer and said that I was wrong about why people aren't coming to America. So, the presidential determination was part of it. RSC misled people on its website. Hey, Conde Brun, here's a donation for a haircut. Yeah, well, I need a haircut, and I tried to get one, but my barber had 5 customers backed up when I arrived, and I didn't have enough time. I had to run down the county seat on Friday to pick up my judge's binder, and then I got onto the interstate, the motorway, and it was 4 cars ran into each other. It was a parking lot. It took me a long time to get down there. I barely got there in time and got back up here. So, so I was going to get a haircut on Friday and a beard trim, but she's busy. She isn't open on Saturday. She isn't open on Monday, and so I can't get a haircut today and tomorrow. And I'm loyal to my barber. Tomorrow is the election, so I'm going to look like a hippie tomorrow, so I can't do anything about it. Yeah, anyway. Well, so back to the point I was talking about a moment ago. So I was, Mariska, I'm not picking Mariska because I appreciate the information. She was correct that RSC told people that the reason why refugees weren't coming over is because there was no presidential determination. But that wasn't accurate. I said that's only part of the piece. I said the reason I'm coming over is because we don't have a budget. And that's the bottom line. The budget's here. The presidential determination was published on the 31st of October. 1, 2, 3 November. No refugees have come over to my knowledge. No refugees have come over to my knowledge. And I don't expect to see any until the budget impasse is over. Maybe some of them will find a way. Maybe they'll find a way. But as I said, the problem is There are no people to greet them. And I was told, no, you're not. You know what you're talking about. Why do all these people that I love this. People use sources that are proven to be illegitimate. Church World Services has lied to the public because they're angry they're not getting billions of dollars of money for resettling hundreds of thousands of people in our country. They're angry. And so they mislead people. They publish things and they give you half-truths and they take it out of context and they attack President Trump, the very person who's giving them their paycheck. So when RSC and Church World Services publish something that's factually incorrect, I'm told by people that I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, you're wrong. That's not the reason. It's not because there's no money. It's not because there's no people to take them to the airport. It's not because there's no people to gather them outside. It's not because there's nobody to process them at PRM or USCIS. No, that's not the reason. The reason is because of this. And once again, I'm right. No, folks, I mean, as far as, people can do what they want to do. I don't do things for I don't expect return, but it is really ironic. Remember, there was a family that was in the original 59ers that didn't have their passports. And so they were left behind. They relocated to fly and they were left behind. I don't know why they relocated without a passport. That's just dumb. I mean, that was their decision. I mean, I'm not going to criticize them, but that was their decision. Well, I guess I am criticizing. I said that was dumb. So I stand corrected. It was dumb. Yeah, so they relocated. Then they reached out to me pleading, help us, help us, help us. Can you do something? Can you help us? I said, what's going on? Well, we're running out of money. We're stuck here. We didn't get out. And I burned a bridge, one of the few bridges I have, reached out to try to get them help, to get the word to people that they were trapped there. And then they got them out in June, I think it was. That person never had the courtesy to tell me they got out of the country, that they were able to come to America as refugee. They never told me that. Never reached out to me. Never even had the courtesy to tell me. Thank you, JJ. A new song, okay? They never had the courtesy to tell me. And the reason I found out that person is in the country is because suddenly there was a Facebook page of some lady in Michigan who claimed to be an Afrikaner, claimed to be a refugee that was in America, and she's making videos about going to the shop and how safe it is and how lovely America is and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? Who is this? This is odd. No one's come over. Only for me to reach out and find out from her that it was in fact her. So she didn't have the courtesy to tell me she got out after all the stuff I did to help her get out of the country. No gratitude, no respect, no appreciation, not even a thank you. And that's all fine and dandy. And it would have been fine. If she just left, never told me, that's fine. I mean, I didn't do it for any other reasons, but that would have been fine. But then insult to injury, knowing that I interview refugees coming over here, it wasn't a question of this person didn't want to be known in the public. A lot of people don't want to be on air. I get that. That's fine. No one has an obligation to do that. I appreciate your privacy. You want privacy? That's fine. That's fine. But this person didn't want privacy. This person wanted notoriety and attention. And I got them out. And this is how they repay me. Not even the courtesy to do an interview. Wow. It's not a question of loyalty. It's a question of common courtesy. I went out of my way to get that person out of the country and burned a bridge that I can't burn for other people now. It's gone. It's gone. And that's unfortunate because people like that don't deserve the kind of help that they got, Meanwhile, people who were supposed to fly got trapped, and I've helped through my generous viewers on the program and some donors and supporters. We've helped them find accommodation in the short term, and hopefully it's working out for them, and it's more than one family. And then several families don't have any money for food. They're running out of money for food because they got rid of everything, and they're stuck because they can't fly. And we've generously through Food Socks and Carl von Blair, we've managed to get them some assistance. So that's awesome. Yeah. Rhino Girl said, never seen so many ungrateful people as I do now. Yeah, no gratitude, even a thank you. Totally understand. Yeah, no, it's so, look, I mean, that's just bad form, man. You could at least have the courtesy to say, hey, we got out okay. If it were me, it'd be like, if I'd been in those shoes, I'd be like, hey, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. We're in America. We're safe now. Thank you so much for what you did. Appreciate it. And that would have been enough. But no, then to go to make a channel and then start putting videos up there, and it's whatever. And because those people speak Afrikaans, anyway, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, whatever, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's how the world is, no good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. That's just the reality. What is this? Christian worship? Oh, someone sent me a song. Don't send stuff to my personal email account. Someone sent me a song. I just found it. It just gets deleted. It nearly got deleted. It looked like a spam thing. I do not take stuff in that account. Please do not send me stuff in that account. I'm not sharing that account. I don't know why people could send me stuff. Your stuff is just going to get deleted. As simple as that. It's just going to get deleted. I don't know why people don't listen. I mean, unless you're a person that I'm in contact with my personal email account, you shouldn't be sending me stuff there. Someone sent me a song there. Don't expose yourself because I just read your thing. And I appreciate it. So I don't want to sound ungrateful. The person sent me a song. It says, thank you, Colonel Wyatt. I'd play it right now, but Dogzilla, his feelings will get hurt because I'm not playing his song. A lot of passport opportunists. Exactly. There are a lot of passport opportunists. Yep. Letitia said, thank you for everything. Can you help with info about signing rent lease? If you do, I have income. It happens. It's differently everywhere. The Refugee Assistance Office will put you in places that rent to people that know the U.S. government is backing them initially. But you will become responsible for your rent in short order. So you've got to get out there and find work pretty quickly. I think it's usually 4 months is what you get. So sad, says Vera. Respect is very important. Morals, people need to be more thankful. Yeah, that's true. I agree. Stian says, thanks to the Colonel Hendo from the Pikachu family. Yeah. Oh, my picture. It's right over here. It's over there. You can see it from here. That lovely drawing I was given. I'm sure you get plenty of emails and messages from her prior to getting into us. Exactly. That's correct, Loretta. That's right. I got messages. Can you help us? Can you help us? We're desperate. We're really in trouble here. And I did. And I said, I'll see what I can do. And I did something. And it turns out that the folks responsible for them didn't even realize that they were in that bind. At least that's what they told me. They said, okay, well, thanks for telling us. We didn't know that was their situation. And then they got them out. Doesn't help when your left hand doesn't know what your right hand is doing. Then people won't offend you so much. Huh? Yeah, Arctic says, yeah, your relocation agent will help you with that. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Why, guys, why are you worried about a lease? Why are you worried about all these things that don't apply? It's like the people now like, what, I don't get food stamps? I'm not saying anybody here said that. I don't get food stamps? Well, then I'm not coming. Okay, then obviously we're coming for the wrong reason. I'm aiming to get my matric while I'm still in South Africa, but if I leave, I will continue with the GED. I don't understand that. What do you mean, Nadine? Are you out of school already? So you can take the matric at any time in South Africa, even if you're an adult? I didn't realize that. I thought you had to take it as you left high school. JJ sent me a song 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I played that song, did I not, JJ? I played the song. Thing of nouns. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Okay. Every day is a blessing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Charles says, worry about the problems when you get there. Yeah, not now. If you're desperate to get out, then get out. Don't worry about the problems. It's going to be okay. Yeah. So I think the family that I helped in Texas, I'm trying to remember if they thanked me. They did. They did thank me. Yeah, they did thank me. Yeah, the family in Texas that was just dumped in a hotel when they had an LGBTQ plus refugee assistance officer who didn't like them for whatever reason. I guess because they were white and South African. Just crapped on them, left them in the hotel, gave them a list of places to go. They said for a lease, and they had to pay a fee to get to do an interview for a lease. I never heard of such a thing. They're being robbed. There's no such thing as that. So anyway, those people, I intervened and contacted the refugee agency, and they jumped on it. And they had the regional director show up on a Sunday, deliver food to them, give them $400 in cash, and then help them get a place. So I don't know if they're still watching the program. Don't identify yourself in the chat here, but send me a WhatsApp. I'd like to know what's going on with you guys, where you're at. But you did thank me. I remember that. Yep. Hey, Dorothea, what's on I'm doing as an adult in South Africa. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Nadine. You left school. It is plain rude, disrespectful, and ungrateful not even say thank you. Acknowledge it. It was the true supporter of your program once you set foot. Yeah, no, well, Ingrid, I kind of agree. I mean, honestly, tell me a single person in the U.S. government, a single person who's a content creator, a single journalist who spent 5 to 7 hours answering questions about the refugee program, eating up half their nights, 16 nights while in South Africa. Not a single person has done that. Take away all my YouTube content, take away all my broadcasts, take away all my writings, take away all the times I've helped people, take all that away, which is thousands of hours of my life I've devoted to help people. And I'm not even interested in this refugee program. I'm just an honest person. Take all that away. Just the hours I devoted going there in South Africa to talk to people in Vanderbijl Park, at Opeplas, at Strand, at Somerset West, at Woodbridge Island, in Durban, in PE, all those places I went to talk to people, to answer their questions. All of that alone is more than anyone else has ever done for this program. Anyone. Then the other people being paid to work it. Yep. Fabian had an interview today. Wow, Fabian, congratulations. Huge number of grateful people. Yeah, there are. Chris has got to feed birthday cake. Okay. Well, Barbie, that's the world, unfortunately. That is the world. And I've experienced it throughout my life. I've been betrayed over and over again by people, but I still keep coming back. And throughout my life, I've been betrayed by people, and I'm talking about, people that should never betray people. Yeah, there is an evil side to humanity, and it's really out there. It really is. So for instance, one of the bartenders that we had to let go for her conduct and behavior last week on Friday, I was told after the fact that bartender had come into work and was running their mouth at the bar and said, the commander is an asshole. Well, I'm the commander. I had 4 interactions with that turd. 4. One in which I praised the work that she was doing. A second in which she was wrapping silverware at a bar, on the bar. Now, it needed to be done, but that's done in the kitchen on a hygienic surface, not on a bar. I politely pulled her aside so as not to embarrass her in front of everybody, and didn't make a point about that in front of anybody. I just said, hey, can I ask you a question at the till? Went to the till and said, I got to talk to you. We went in the other room, and I said, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's unhygienic, and it turns people off, and we cannot do that. I said, I appreciate your initiative. Obviously, it wasn't done, so you're doing it. And she explained. I said, okay, that's fine. So I took her in the back. I found the then manager, who was subsequently terminated. And I told the manager, I said, look, the bartender's out here rolling silverware on the bar. We can't have that. Great initiative. And she heard me say it right in front of her, so gave her credit for doing good initiative. And then I said, but we can't do that. I said, you need to have the kitchen staff who are back here. Look at them sitting over there doing nothing. They should be rolling these now when they have time. Anyway, so that was my second interaction with her. And then the third time, I asked her if she's available during the day for an all hands, because I like to sit down and talk to all the staff periodically, about once a quarter. It isn't always possible, but I try to do it. But they don't want to talk. They don't want to hear from management. They want to bitch about the management, but they don't want to hear about what the officers have to say to them, tell them about what the standards are and what their expectations are. They don't want to hear it. So I couldn't schedule, but I asked them, are you available today? And she said, yes. And the 2 of us bartenders are on now. We don't work during the day, so we can come in anytime. That was my third interaction. And the fourth interaction was when I fired her. And she called me an asshole. For what? For what? These are just pricks. Scumbag pricks. Both of them in their 20s. No new songs, Horse Crazy. I just played the newest song earlier. Vanderbijl Park. Well, I've gone to Vanderbijl Park every time except one on my trips. I've done 5, 6 trips to South Africa now since this stuff eased up after lockdown. And I've done a meet and greet all but once. I like to go to Vanderbijl Park because my friend Monty Jackson lives near there. And so does Donnie van de Westhuizen. And then Ronelle also is not too far from there because she always sets up my meet and greets at the Emerald Resort. So I like to go down there for that. I'd like to spend a little more time next time and enjoy myself there rather than just rush through it. But I'm always rushing in and out. So anyway, would rather hurt people who have no control in the government than holding their leaders accountable. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, there's also entitled oldsters, Lynn, but those were entitled youngsters. They're very disrespectful and rude. JJ sent me a new song. Okay. Ingrid says, exactly my point, Chris. You are, out of the whole lot of them, the only true supporter who actually cares. Well, thank you, Ingrid. And it's very kind of you to say that. And Johan Pratt did medicals today. Congratulations. Okay. Stealing someone else's connection in a program like this is pretty low and rather weak, I think, honestly. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And here's the thing, Delmarie. Here's the thing. I have convinced refugees to give interviews to the New York Times, to give interviews to other news outlets, including the Daily Maverick, And yeah, so anyway, and I've looked out for their interest. I've never tried to exploit anybody. I helped CNN get an interview with Earl Langton. He wasn't going to do it. Yep. I said, you should do it. And he did it. And it went very well. So, you know, I've looked out for the interest of these people. You know, this is what kills me. This is what kills me about these people who run their mouths, who talk out their ass. They just, you know, anyway, whatever. You know, after all this time, I've still yet to see anyone prove any of the lies they've said about me, because they're all lies and they can't prove them, but they still keep coming. And they all started with little Scotty Balls, and it went from there. Yep. It shows strength of character, staying true to yourself regardless. Yeah, exactly, Freya. I mean, just because people are little shitbirds doesn't mean I'm going to change who I am. Americaners have devoted enormous energy to. They're getting paid, Dogzilla. They're getting paid. They're getting paid. And you are twisting my words. I didn't say there's any harm in admiring them. I'm the one that gave them credibility by treating them fairly when they were being treated poorly. You can ask them. So you're just starting shit here, Dogzilla. Matthew Dixon was surprised by it. Well, you know, we looked back, we looked at the video, we looked at the photographs, and we all, at the time, you know, what happened there, Matthew, I was estimating 300, but we've looked at it. It's probably over 500 people came to that event in the end. You were there. Yep. At our first interview. Anyway. It's like the Operation Pet Lift and Nicole Feldman. I never treat anybody with any disdain, yet people came after me. People came in my chat and lied about pets. They lied. I say they lied because they attacked me. They were wrong, and I pointed out they were wrong, and they just started attacking me. Then they went and slandered me all over the internet. They lied. And of course, they were wrong. They were wrong. But people believe any bullshit they hear, so people believe them. No, they were wrong. I told them it's impossible to ship a pet to the U.S. for $200. That's not the cost. The damn plane costs more than that. You can't send a pet. Although I only sent my pet for, I think, $75 from Frankfurt to D.C. But that's different. That was a long time ago, and that was different. But coming from South Africa, because of the veterinary requirements and all the things that South African government puts in the way, the obstacles plus U.S. requirements, it's impossible. And it turns out that they misunderstood that PetLift was negotiating a preferential rate for titer tests for dogs, because you have to have a titer test, and they got it down to $200 per dog for the titer test. There's all kinds of other tests. Plus, you have to have your pet chipped, and you have to do all this, you have to do this, and this, and all that stuff. And then Operation Pet Lift said they were going to try to get grants and raise money so that people didn't have to pay anything. People took that, heard what they wanted to hear, and heard it's $200 or it's free. And then they called me a liar. And they savaged me in little hate-wanking WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups. And they're all wrong. And all that shit's still online. And they're all fucking losers and liars. Every fucking one of them is a liar. A shitbird liar. Talking about lovers, I saw the lovers. Oh, so that's another person who slandered me. Lucky I didn't file charges. Anyway, yeah. And now that person, is giving me, half-hearted praise that I'm getting it correct, but still has issue with what I say. Well, I don't care if you have issue with what I say. I know what the hell I'm talking about. You don't. And you've been misleading people. In-laws who submitted statement of interest the same day. One family ready to fly, the other haven't heard a thing. There is no rhyme or reason. That's right, Dirk Kutsia. There is no rhyme or reason whatsoever. Nothing to it. Well, I can't file charge against YouTube. You have to be a multi-billionaire to do that. Only Elon Musk can afford to sue YouTube. He's got the money to pay the lawyers, and they'll settle out of court. Dutch elections. My take on the Dutch elections is that it's been overblown by the media, claiming that the far right is dead. No. If you look at the political parties, two minor right-wing political parties soared in the elections, as did a centrist leftist center party. So it's a mixed result. Geert Wilders' party lost support because they screwed up. and people went to vote for other right-wing parties. So, it's not like the right-wing or the extreme conservative side of the Netherlands has died off and the immigration is suddenly not an issue. It remains an issue. But the media has misrepresented that. If we take a look at the election, let me do that now. So, 2025 Dutch election. Okay. See if I can't find the website. Here we go. All right. Now, maybe it's changed because they were still sorting things out. Yeah, here you go. All right. So here you go. I'm going to show you this here. So, okay. So here's the election. So the D66 gained 17 seats. That's massive. They only had 11 before. Geert Wilders lost 11. Okay. And this conservative party lost 2. That's 5. But this party here is a left party. The left party lost 5 seats. Okay. And then the CDA, which is a Christian Democratic Party, gained 13 seats. 13 seats. Sorry, here it is. Here's what I'm trying to do right here. There you go. They gained 13 seats. So while the leftists gained 17, this party had just 5 seats. Now they have 18. And then this party, J21, is also a right-of-center party. And that one's led by Joost Eerdmans, and that gained 8 seats. So that's 22 seats. Those two conservative parties gained twice as many seats as Geert Wilders lost. So the conservative voice is stronger in the Dutch parliament. And the one that gained the most on the left gained 17, gained 5 seats less than the conservatives. Nobody's analyzing that. Nobody's analyzing it. Nobody's talking about how the right hasn't died. They just changed parties. And that's not the end of it. Then you have the Forum for Democracy. They gained 4 more seats. So that's 8, 17, 25 seats right there, or 26 seats right there. And then a right-wing party lost 3 seats at BBB. So about 22 seats gained. Democratic Socialist Party lost 2 of its 3 seats. And Volt lost its only seat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parties will no longer be represented in Parliament. And 2 more have dropped seats at the bottom of this. So, yeah. So there's been a consolidation of power. And it's been more to the conservatives than it has to the leftists. So there's the bottom line with that. That's the bottom line with that. I mean, there's completely misrepresented here, folks. Completely misrepresented the Dutch election. Does that answer your question? And I said that on election night. Conservative and right-wing parties have done better except for Geert Wilders. 2 parties. One lost 2 seats and Wilders lost 11. But another gained 13, another gained 8, another gained 5. It's crazy. He made a mistake by leaving the coalition earlier this year and forcing another election. Exactly. Yeah, the other parties grew significantly, but that's not the story. The story is the right is dead in the Netherlands. That's not true. It's a lie. Your dignity and honesty stands sky high no matter how hard they try. Trump lies, and people see about that about you, and we appreciate it. Well, thank you, Husky7. I appreciate that. Autocorrect was supposed to be liars and didn't double. Okay, that's all right. Emerald Palace is a great place for meet and greet. I was the rep for the fire doors on that project. No, Emerald Palace is a great place for a meet and greet. And Heidi Kruger says that voter fraud is being investigated. Well, nothing will come of that, I don't think. I don't think anything will come of that. First interview on Friday, says Jason Giel. You have to be contacted for details. Next one. Any tips on the interview? I can offer you, the only tip I can offer you, Jason, is one I've always given. By the way, I get the impression based on what people are telling me in chat, I don't know, but I get the impression, and you don't have to confirm this, that it seems like some of the people doing the interviews are trying to trip up and they're trying to get me. They seem to think that I'm giving people inside secrets on how to approach these interviews. I'm not. And the only advice I can offer you is to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Be honest about it. But also, the fact that you haven't been a victim of past persecution doesn't mean you're not a victim. I'll explain. Heidi Kruger gave €2.40 more votes than voters. Yeah, I think that's true. They said it was 78% turnout or something like that. Anyway, so as far as this goes, the only advice I can offer you is to tell the truth. That's it. Tell the truth, nothing but the truth. There's no reason to tell anything else. And as far as being a victim of past persecution, it doesn't have to be you. If your neighbor was murdered and it affected you, you suffered trauma as a consequence of it. That's past persecution if they're persecuted because of their skin color, racial classification. So there you go. And future persecution, Julius Malema, kill the boar, the threats to murder farmers, the 145 laws that keep you from building a business, keep you from getting contracts with the government. You're forced to live in poverty as a consequence. Those are all truthful things to say. I mean, just be honest with them, you know? If they ask you if you know who I am, be honest. Say, you know who I am. Do you watch my channel? Yes. Are you a moderator on my channel? If you are, tell them the truth. If you're not, and say, you know, just be honest about it, you know? And I've never coached anybody, and I would never coach anybody. No. I mean, I'll tell you what you can expect, and that's reasonable. That's fair. But that's as far as I can go with that. Okay. There are many courses and workshops for anger management. I don't get mentioned in interviews. I don't know about that, expat family Joubert. Jason says, at least I pronounce his surname correctly. Well, I pronounce it Afrikaans way, but it's Dutch. That's not how they pronounce it. Speaking French in Afrikaans accent, what can go wrong? Well, speaking Afrikaans with a French accent. Gourmand toppies is the sticky someone's toes. Ugh, gross. That sounds disgusting, Rhino Girl. The right conservatives have been busy working and living, staying out of politics. Yes, yeah, they know what you did last summer, and that's not just a movie. That's why I tell people you have to be honest, because they know about you. They know what you do. They know your social media history. If you think you can hide it, you're wrong. Not in yours. Okay, well, then you're one of the few that wasn't mentioning, okay? Nope. I mean, I know that refugees are gathered, hanging out, waiting, going for interviews, and there's talk about me all the time. Yep, and also know that people talk about me in interviews. I know that for a fact, so that's fine. Some people, you know, they say, do you know anybody in America? And a lot of people putting down Colonel Chris Wyatt because they know me from YouTube. That's fine. Was asked where I heard of the program, and yes, they know you. Exactly, Werner. Thank you. Exactly. Just tell the truth. That's all. If you tell a story, it will change where the truth. Exactly. Because you won't remember what lie you told. Why would you want to lie? I mean, my favorite phrase for South Africans is, if I'm honest, which I always say, why wouldn't you be honest? You should always be honest. Some schools thought that say fascism is fundamentally socialist. If true, that would mean that there have been no major right-wing crazy leaders. Well, fascism is across the political spectrum, Daniel. It's across the political spectrum. So when you go to Wikipedia and it says that fascism is an extreme right-wing phenomenon, it's a lie. And that's a lie. That's propaganda. The National Socialist German Workers' Party. You can't get any more socialist than that. Workers' Party, National Socialist. That's nationalism. It's socialism, politically left of center, and workers, focused left of center. The communists were left of center. The Soviet Union was left of center. They were all fascist. Fascism runs the spectrum from left to right. Lots of governments are fascist. Yep, if you lie to USCIS, get ready for SASA grants. Yep. I also want to apply just to drop my name. So one of the groups I follow, the GNU meeting this weekend is due to South Africa posting a grand deficit in the month of September. I don't know about that. Well, votes are being recounted, Heidi, but what's going to come of it? Nothing ever comes in. Please go watch Refugee Playlist. Yeah. And the medical, will it be after the 30th? No, it's all over the place. Jason, are you just now tuning into this whole process? I mean, it's only 9 months old. I've been covering this since February. Go to my channel, look at the playlist, look for the U.S. program, Trump program for refugees, and go back to the very beginning. There'll be programs on, some of which is outdated now because things have changed with the big, beautiful bill, but it lists the refugee benefits, it lists background checks, a video on that, lots of videos. All right? Deborah Pata. I don't even know who that is, Phoenix. I don't even know who that is. Who is Deborah Pata? I don't even know who that is, guys. Yeah, they changed the actor for The Witcher. I'm probably not going to watch it. I mean, I really like the actor that was there. He was really good. So I don't know what's going on with the new Witcher. I saw it was released. I did go and start watching Halo, and although it's a racist, anti-white program, it was still pretty well done. The graphics are pretty good, and the storylines are mostly pretty good. I've gotten through the first season of Halo. There are only 2 seasons of it because it costs so much damn money. But it's very much a racist, anti-white program. Yeah. Henry Cavill's the goat. Yeah, Henry Cavill's amazing. Oh, you won't watch the whole playlist after the live, Jason. You won't. There's thousands of hours of content in there. My suggestion is go back to the beginning. Watch the first video, a couple videos. Focus on the ones that talk about, background checks, and some of that's changed. That was true at the time. but some of it's changed. But at least gives you a taste of stuff. Then jump forward and look to the most recent ones, okay? Look at some of the interviews. Look at the last 2 interviews I did. The last 2 interviews I did will be very informative for you, okay? Last 2 interviews. Yes, Dogzilla, we remember. You've already told us twice previously about This American Life. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Huge Witcher 3 fan. Really? Oh, into the game. Okay. You're welcome, Billy Idol. And Arctic agrees with us. It's crap, the new season. The truth will set you free. All right? I'm too dumb to lie. I struggle to remember what I had for supper. And how the heck am I going to remember to lie? So that means 20th century genocide has all been committed under the honor of banner socialism. Well, mostly. Mostly. Take care, Tony. All right, I'm going to wrap up here too, folks. It's been 2 hours. You guys take care. Thanks. Be sure to hit the like button. Appreciate it. And thank you all so much. We kept over 300 viewers the whole time. And for a long period of time, we were over 400. From 451, we finally dropped down to 449, 1210. An hour, over an hour. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Mondays can be the big day on this channel for the news. We appreciate it. Remember, programming announcement tonight. Night Owls will be on for 1 hour. That's it. Then it's off to bed for me, young man. No updates tomorrow. All day long from 5:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night, I will be involved with the election tomorrow. So that's tomorrow. And then I will see you guys. I'll see you guys after that. I'm going to come back around midnight tomorrow. So it'll be about 7 a.m. when I come on tomorrow for South Africans. Okay? Thank you all so much. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you for the super chats that came in. I hope I caught all of them. If I didn't, my apologies. Thank you so much. And I think I caught them all. And anyway, cheers. See you later. Bye-bye.